Hello and welcome. This is Faceless Opinion, currently in prison for tax evasion. Welcome you back to another video. As of late, I've been busy with a large amount of things going on IRL, meaning that I don't get as much time to do other things like making videos, playing games, or even watching anime. It's been a while since I've done that last one. I decided to knock two birds with one stone. Watch some anime and make a video about it. You know what that means. It's time for some weird anime that might get me in trouble with the YouTube overlords. Now, what to watch? Too long. Tempted, but no. I already did that one. No. Maybe another time, perhaps. This one seems interesting. Let's try it out. It doesn't seem that bad.
6.5 hours later.
What did I sign up for? Let's do some research. Prison School is an ecchi comedy manga written by Akira Hiramoto. It would be released in February of 2011, being serialized by Kodansha Weekly Young Magazine. The manga would span all the way until April of 2018, consisting of 277 chapters being broken down into 28 volumes. A Prison School anime adaptation would air in July of 2015, being produced by JC Staff, with an English dub following shortly thereafter by Funimation. The anime would last for 12 episodes. That takes care of the inception. Now to the plot, and it's a doozy, so bear with me. The story revolves around 5 boys named Kiyoshi Fujino, Takehito Morokuzu, aka Gakudo, Shingo Wakamoto, Jojo Nezu, aka Joe, and Eiji Ado, aka Andre. These 5 would be admitted to Hachimitsu Academy, one of the strictest girl academies in Tokyo, who has recently allowed boys to attend, making the school become co-ed. Unfortunately, the boys would get themselves into trouble by committing the act of voyeurism. What's that? Long story short, they were peeping on the girls while they were, well, you can fill in the blanks. And since that is kind of a big deal, they need to get punished for that. Now, with something like this, you would assume that it would result in a suspension at minimum, expulsion at worst, and if you really want to go this far, calling the cops and putting their names on a certain list. But that is not what happens. Instead, they are sent to prison. That is in the school, which is why this anime is called Prison School. Not sure why I needed to explain that part. Anywho, the boys get sent to prison, and their time in there is horrific, as they are beaten, assaulted, and tortured by the underground student council, who hate boys. So much so, they want the boys to be gone from the school, and are prepared to do a lot of shady and questionable things to accomplish that goal. With that brief synopsis out of the way, let's talk about all the crazy shenanigans that take place. This anime gets rather raunchy at times, and let's just say the first few episodes are a bit rough to watch. You know, with the first episode with the boys are trying to watch the girls, it comes off as uncomfortable. Then, when the boys get sent to prison, school itself, let's just say that some of them like the punishment they are getting, if you know what I mean.
Oh my.
But let's do a deep dive on the boys and some of the other characters of importance, starting with Kiyoshi. No, not that Kiyoshi. I wish. He is our MC, and is the first of the boys to get a girl interested in him, named Chio, who he plans to see sumo wrestling with, but with him in prison, that throws a monkey wrench into those plans. Now, what do you think Kiyoshi does? If you said wait out his sentence, then go hang out with her, I'm sorry, that is incorrect, as he breaks out of prison to try and see her, and you can figure out how that went, and because he broke out, him and the other boys got their sentences extended. Not gonna lie, I didn't really like Kiyoshi in the beginning since he came off as a simp, and I hate simps, but he redeemed himself later. Next up is Gakudo. He is the best character and is a real homie. He goes above and beyond to help the boys, whether that was helping Kiyoshi with the prison escape or coming up with other plans to avoid getting suspended. Like, this man willingly crapped his own pants to help Kiyoshi. In hands down, the most emotional scene in the show. R.I.P. Gakudo's reputation. Can I get an F in the chat? He is also the one who gets beaten the most and suffers the worst out of everyone. If anyone deserved a happy ending the most, it would be him. And he is the GOAT, and yours truly would want him as a friend. Up now is Shingo. After Kiyoshi's prison break and getting his sentence extended, he kinda hates Kiyoshi for a bit, which is understandable. I mean, I would be peeved too, As a result of this, the Underground Student Council manipulate him into being a snitch so that they could get the boys expelled. They even got a girl interested in him so that their plan could work, and it kind of succeeded. Alright, let's talk about Joe. He really likes ants? Is that a random fact? Yes, but believe me when I say Joe likes ants. So much so, this man was about to commit murder because someone almost killed his ants. I'm not joking. He almost killed someone. Oh, and he also has canker sores too. Then our last boy is Andre, and he's a weirdo. Remember earlier when I said that some of the boys like being punished? Yes, Andre is a full-blown masochist. He wants to be beaten, he wants to be spit on, he wants to lick the VP's dirty boots. The man has a slave diary talking about how much he wants to be whipped. Hey, I need a break.
3 weeks later.
Alright, where was I? Oh yeah, let's talk about the antagonist of this series, the Underground Student Council. Why are they called that? I don't know. Well, the USC consists of 3 members. The president, Mari, the VP, Maiko, and the secretary, Hana. Starting from most important to least, Maiko is our VP, is the one who oversees the boys in prison. She's the warden, basically, who does all the dirty work for the president, meaning that she is the one who hands out the beatings and punishments the most. She is without question the most iconic of the 3 USC members. Why? You tell me. She is also the one who gets the most, how to put it, screenshots. Yeah, let's call them that. Whether it be her uniform not fitting properly up top due to reasons, or the camera panning down a bit too low below the skirt line. Up next is Hana. At first she seems nice and sweet, but let me tell you, she's most definitely the psycho of the group. Maiko may be the one who dishes out the most beating, but Hana's are the most brutal, due to her being a karate specialist. But that is not why I say she is a psycho. The reason would have to be her obsession with Kiyoshi, due to an accident in which he caught her in a compromising condition, which just escalates worse and worse, involving things I am not allowed to explain because of the YouTube overlords, without a large degree of wordplay, so much so that we're gonna need the Navajo code breakers to decipher it. But maybe I can get away with one thing. Pray for me and hope the YouTube overlords turn the cheek. There was a golden shower moment. Moving on, then our last member, who I consider the least important, would be Mari the President. Now some of you may be raising eyebrows and questioning my sanity. Fair, I am making a video on this after all. But why did I state that Mari was the least important of the 3 USC members? Mainly because she doesn't do much in regards to the boys themselves, as she usually makes Maiko and sometimes Hana do all the dirty work. Granted, she is the one who creates the plan to get the boys expelled, titled Operation DTO, but that has less to do with the boys themselves and more to do with the chairman of the school, who was the one which made the school co-ed to begin with. Like, all her disdain for boys and men in general come from the chairman, who is also Mari's father as well, because he likes big booty Latina girls. You heard right, the chairman likes big butts and he cannot lie. Brief sidebar, but I don't know why, but the chairman is so intense. Like, he can say something normally, then the last word or two becomes uber serious. Like, here's an example of what I mean. This is something he actually says word for word and how it was said. I can go for a hot cup of tea, please. And he does that all the time. He is intense. Second best character. Back to Mari and why I don't like her. She's a misandrist, has little engagement with the boys in general. I don't understand how she controls the crows. Like, how and why is that a thing? That never gets explained. Her apparent daddy issues. And not to mention, her downfall was not that satisfying to me. Don't get me wrong, when the boys got freed and proved that the USC was trying to get them expelled due to Operation DTO, I was happy for them. They deserved it due to all the abuse they suffered at the hands of USC, and that Maiko and Hana were getting their comeuppance is much deserved. While for Mari, it felt hollow to an extent, not because she didn't deserve it. She does. She is the mastermind of the whole thing. But with how little she was involved directly with it, it was kind of meh for me. Hence why I consider her to be the least important of the 3 girls. Now, I believe I gave this series a good overview of what prison school is about and the characters we see. What are my thoughts on it? I'm going to be honest with you. I liked it, which is surprising to me. Do you remember earlier when I said how this show was rough to watch and could be uncomfortable? I still stand by that statement. Those first 2 episodes were hard to watch at times, but when you get past that, it really starts to pick up. In my opinion, I thought that episode 3 was the best and most funny. That shower scene between Kiyoshi and Gakuto with Shingo watching and misinterpreting everything was hilarious, as well as where Gakuto earned his true homie status. What a legend. Granted, this series can and does keep things raunchy, and the abuse that the boys suffer is extreme. I feel bad for Kiyoshi and the trauma his butt experienced. And no, I'm not talking about what you're thinking. He didn't drop the soap, but what he went through, I think he wish he did. And are there things to complain about? Sure, I can make do without all the screenshots that they have of Mako. I can understand some at the beginning, but it gets tiring seeing the same things over and over again. I really hate it when they focus on her thighs and she starts sweating profusely. Ugh, gross. I could also talk about Mari, but I already expressed my disliking for her already. No point in retreading old ground. I would say have her show more violent tendencies towards the boys, because I think we see her get hands-on maybe once, and that was at the very beginning before the boys got sent to prison. I would have liked it if they also done a little bit more with Joe as well. I would say he was the least developed of the boys. Like, why does he like ants so much? Why is he always wearing a hood? Like, he's always has it on. But there's one thing I do want to discuss. The big reason why I like Prison School. And the reason for that is I like the dynamic between the boys. When Kiyoshi and Gakuto were planning to break out for Kiyoshi so he could act like a simp, their friendship really grew and developed. Then things changed when the breakout was exposed, leading to punishment for everyone. Shingo, Joe, and Andre turned against Kiyoshi, which makes sense because all their prison sentences got extended, but Kiyoshi didn't out Gakuto and took the blame for everything. Then he would start to make amends slowly but surely, but when we got close towards the end point, when they discovered the USC was plotting to get them all expelled and practically succeeded on that regard, they all worked together to try and stop their unjust expulsion, solidifying their friendship and essentially creating a brotherhood. And for me, I'm a big sucker when it comes to stuff like that, as ridiculous as it is. With as much crap as I give it, it's one of the best showings of friendship out of a lot of anime I've seen. Also, the intro is a total banger too. As you know, Prison School lasted for 12 episodes, with 9 of the manga's volumes being adapted for it, meaning we have only seen 1/3 of the full story, which is surprising based off the ending of the anime, but not to be unexpected. Though that does raise a question, where's Season 2? It had a decent following from what I gathered online. It appears to have done well for itself, yet Season 2 was never announced, and the creators have not confirmed nor denied anything pertaining towards it, which makes me wonder, will there be a Season 2? Some people believe that Season 2 could come out in 2025, but I don't know where they are getting that evidence since nothing was ever announced, so I believe that's just conjecture on their part. What are my thoughts on the matter? It's been 9 years since Prison School came out. If we were to have gotten a continuation, we would have gotten one by now, or at least heard something. That the fact that we haven't makes me think we won't, and I don't find it surprising. Many of these ecchi anime don't have long life expectancies. Similar anime like Shimoneta and Keijo, series that I have covered in the past, both only had 12 episodes. Prison School just continues that trend. As many anime are created to promote their respective manga series, though I don't know if I would want to see a Prison School Season 2. But Faceless, I hear you say, I thought you liked Prison School. Why don't you want to see it continue? True, I do like it, but I'm content with the ending we got. The boys got out of prison and more or less got a happy ending, while the USC got sent to prison, which is very appropriate. If it were to continue, I feel like they would try to do a redemption arc for the girls, and I'm not interested in seeing that. Not everyone should have a redemption arc. Even though the thought of them getting treated on how they treated the boys does sound very appealing to me. Anywho, tell me, what do you think? Do you like Prison School? Do you think we'll get a Season 2? If you were in the prison, would you want Mako to beat you like the little masochist you are? Tell me in the comment section down below. If you enjoyed the video, leave a like and subscribe. Until next time, I will catch you all On the flip side,